announcements. The meeting's just about to start. Council President Dangler, go ahead.
Good evening. The April 9th, 2020 meeting for the Long Branch City Council has now come to order. Roll call.
Mr. Vieira?
Here.
Dr. Vogt?
Here.
Mrs. Wittes?
Here.
Dr. Selly?
Here.
And Mr. Dangler?
Here. We will now recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I hereby certify that this meeting has been posted in the newspaper in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and posted as required by law.
Presentations we have done this evening. Reading and approval of the previous minutes. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the March 11th, 2020 meeting.
I make a motion, Mr. Councilwoman Selly. So moved.
Councilman Vieira.
Roll call.
Mr. Vieira?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Abstain.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
And Mr. Dangler?
Yes. Consideration of ordinance, public hearing, and final consideration. This is the second reading of ordinance 1520 entitled a bond ordinance providing for the purchase of radio system for the fire
I think we,
department.
Council President, I think we skipped 1420 is an ordinance concerning a 5-year tax abatement. 1420.
That's football.
They still need to, they need to move it.
I thought it was pulled.
We need a motion to carry the public hearing until April 22nd, 2020.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Motion. Selly.
Under, there's going to be a revision. Under ordinance for consideration, ordinance 2020, we need a motion to carry this ordinance until April 22nd, 2020.
That's ordinance 14. It's ordinance 1420.
1420, yes.
Yes.
1420.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Raynone, do you want that read?
No, we can just make a motion to carry it to April 22nd, 2020. Mr. Mayor, this is the ordinance concerning the 5-year tax exemption and abatement program, and we require the planning board to act, and they are not going to act until April 21st. Their meeting was canceled, much like the city council meeting. So we just need a motion to carry that ordinance, the public hearing until April 22nd, 2020.
Thank you for the explanation.
You're welcome, Mayor.
I made the motion.
I'm sorry, who made the second?
I'll make
I
a
made the
motion.
Okay, Mr. Vieira?
Yes.
Dr. Vogt?
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes?
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
And Mr. Dangler?
Yes. This is the second reading of ordinance 15-20 entitled a bond providing for the purchase of radio system for the fire department by and in the city of Long Branch for the county of Monmouth, the state of New Jersey, appropriating $675,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $642,500 bond or note of the city of Long Branch, of the city for the finance part of the cost therefore. This ordinance was introduced on February 26, 2020. I need a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved,
So moved,
Councilman Viera.
All in favor?
I'm sorry. Council President Dangler, I'm sorry. Can I have that motion again?
So moved,
ma'am.
Councilman Viera.
You want me to read it again?
I need a second. I need a second, Dangler, from one of the council members.
Second, Rose
Okay.
Wittes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If there's any member of the public that has a comment to make regarding the ordinance only, please dial *9 on your phone, and the operator will call on you by your last 3 digits of your phone number. When you are called upon, state your name and address clearly for the record. You will be given 5 minutes and may only speak once.
Caller whose phone number ends in 350, you may go ahead. Please state your name.
Oh, yes, Ernest McNally, born in Long Branch. I live in Asbury Park, New Jersey. Relative to this ordinance, I'd like to say that it sounds like we're talking close to $750,000, and it seems like for the fire department, and I'm not sure that the public is represented in terms of questioning, was there a bidding process? I mean, Long Branch Fire Department and City has a long history of bonding and financing things for the fire department that when the public finds out, they're always surprised and shocked. So I guess this will just happen at a meeting that unfortunately can't take place in person, which loses the effect of the public. There's probably a lot of people who can't comment now, who may not know how or not have the availability of the technology, and therefore almost $750,000 in radios. It just seems like it never ends. It never ends the way things are slipped through, and the public has no input, and it's just bonding, and who's paying all this bonding? The homeowners in Asbury, not the condo owners, not the pilot programs, not the tax abatement people. The people who can least afford it are being driven out of the city. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I need a motion to close.
So moved, Councilman
moved.
Viera.
Oh,
All in
stand by.
favor?
Stand by. We have one more caller. Sorry about that. Caller whose phone number ends in 198, please state your name.
Vincent Lepore, 33 Ocean Terrace. On the bond ordinance, I'm requesting that the matter be postponed for a vote. This state is now in a declaration by the governor of a state of emergency. We should not be bonding anything at the current time. We only have a 2% municipal cap, and we have revenue decline. This city is facing some severe challenging times. A $675,000 bond right now is not appropriate. Until we see clear of this economic emergency, I'm requesting that this matter be tabled. Should you not table it, it's fiscal irresponsibility on the part of this council. I am requesting, if you don't table it, a no vote. That's all.
Is there anyone else, Will?
There are no more participants.
I need a motion to close.
So moved, Councilman Vieira.
Mary Jane.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. This is the third reading of ordinance 1520 entitled a bond ordinance providing for the purchase of radio system for the fire department by and in the city of Long Branch in the county of Monmouth, the state of New Jersey, appropriating $675,000, therefore authorizing the issuance of $642,500 bonds or notes of the city to finance part of the cost therefore. I need a motion to adopt the third and final reading, advertised according to law.
So moved, Councilman Vogt.
Do I have a second?
Second, I need a vote.
Roll call.
Mr. Vieira,
Yes.
Dr. Vogt,
Yes.
Mrs. Goodis,
Yes.
Dr. Selly,
Yes.
Mr. Dangler.
Yes. Ordinances for introduction, we have none. Public participation for resolutions and all general comment. I need a motion to open the public portion of the meeting for all comments.
So moved, I need a
Councilman
vote.
Vieira.
Mary Jane.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? If any member of the public has a comment to make, please dial *9 on your phone, and the operator will call you by the last 3 digits of your phone number. When you are called upon, state your name and address clearly for the record. You will be given 5 minutes and may only speak once.
Caller whose phone number ends in 350, you may go ahead. Please state your name.
Ernest McNally, born in Long Branch, live in Asbury Park, New Jersey. I'd like to say that in terms of the developers and what seems to be going on at the council meetings, I'm not sure that anything should proceed without the public being made aware of who all these partnerships are, these LLCs, because according to a lot of people's research, they're all getting back to a certain few that seem to dominate in Asbury, get site development included, get amazing deals, tax abatements, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and the public never knows who it is. So I think at some point at a public meeting, why doesn't this mayor and council just list all the projects, all the tax abatements and pilot programs, and who's really behind these LLCs and Lower Broadway? And you're going to see it's all going to lead probably to the Wave Hotel. My next comment is in terms of Pascucci's trial, appeal, the Long Branch police officer who was drunk with a fireman in the car that ran over and killed a woman, a state trooper's aunt on Boulevard and Broadway in 2017 in September. He pled guilty to strict vehicular homicide. He was given a 364-day sentence in the county jail at Middlesex because it was a conflict case, and I believe probation, and I would assume loss of license. But none of that happened, and in fact, the judge, Judge Toto, and the lawyer, Judge Altman, and the prosecutor in Middlesex seemed to have worked out a sweetheart deal. Along with the guilty plea came an appeal. And of all things for the appeal to come up before 3 judges, I believe in Trenton, it comes up April 6th of this year, and they remand the case back down for resentencing on a technicality. Now, if that isn't a disgrace, I only hope that the Long Branch Police and the Monmouth County prosecutor accept the public's understanding of what a disgrace this case has been, and rest in peace the victim, who was, I believe, the aunt of a New Jersey state trooper. And how do you think New Jersey feels with what goes on in Long Branch? This is a disgrace and an outrage. Now, the other thing is we get this case on Friday morning, and it turns out it's in a former mayor's house, and it hits the waves that it's a murder. Something happened, a murder. Right? It goes in local papers. They're investigating a homicide. Nobody could find out anything. The scene doesn't look like a regular investigation scene. It just looks like a bunch of friends gathering. And next thing you know, it's all over. And the next morning, 24 hours later, by the same medical examiner that did the Pascucci case victim, that did the Jerry Scarano case in terms of medical examinations, rules this a suicide. Now, you talk about public outrage, and you look on media, and this is just another example of when Long Branch gets involved with investigating its own cases, teamed up with the Monmouth County prosecutor, who is made up of a lot of former Long Branch and Asbury Park police. This is the result that you get. Rest in peace to Miss June Yoon. This is not about her. It's about the investigation. And this investigation should be investigated. It's a public outrage. Then we have the Joyce Jr. case, never going to go away. At Jack's Frontline Bar, it's now, I understand, a civil lawsuit. Look at the plea deal given to
Mr.
that.
McNolly, you have 1 minute, sir.
Thank you. Look at the plea deal. In that case where he almost stomped and killed a man, he got back on the police. Then he gets in a knife fight for having some kind of romance with some lady in the projects, and they give him an award. And then he does a lot to a woman in Jack's Frontline Bar, and he gets a plea deal. He accidentally touched her buttocks. Are you kidding me? You all should be ashamed of yourself. And then the Roebuck case. Look at what Lepore, when he arrested him. Look what Judge O'Brien said. The police chief at the time, public safety director, acted criminally. How come he's getting away with it, Roebuck? I'll tell you why. Because he gets to take pictures in the Beast in Wildwood, the president's car, with Gramaccioni, Golden, with the police chief, and everybody that you're sitting around, Mayor Pallone. You have no idea. You're worse off than Caesar.
Thank you,
was.
Mr. McNolly, for your time.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Caller whose phone number ends in 384, please state your name. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Patty Baraki. I just wanted to know, does the stop construction order that's been put in place, is that going to affect any of the agreements that were made with the developers along the oceanfront?
No.
No?
No, it doesn't affect them. Is your question whether or not the construction is going to stop, or whether it affects those agreements?
No, if it affects the agreements, if they have to stop their work. Okay,
No.
Thank you.
Caller whose phone number ends in 198, please state your name. Go ahead.
Vincent Lepore. I request 1 minute notification, Madam Clerk. To start on a positive note, during these trying times, I'd like to compliment the library director and her staff for doing a very good job with community resources page and the databases. They're keeping the functions of the library connected with the people of this city, and that is so important. Thanks again to the library director and her staff. 3 resolutions concerning the library, 63, 64, 65 tonight, concern the library community center. Resolution 63 has a 50-50 match in the contribution. The director of the library has been very sharp in applying for her 50% under the Library Construction Bond Act, which will not cost the taxpayers anything. The city, on the other hand, the municipal, has agreed to match on a 50%. The total cost of this building is $13,150,000. The municipal, in this resolution, has not declared where $6,575,000 is coming from. Although the application deadlines are due, and the intent of the Library Community Center is sound and just, Pallone, you're going to listen loud and clear. You can get that money from the feds if your brother worked hard enough for it, your brother congressman. Don't think for 1 second, Pallone, that you're going to parlay a developer tax abatement and another quid pro quo for the 50% match of this Library Community Center so as to enrich your pay-to-play gravy train at the expense of the residents of this city left holding the bag. It's not going to happen. Talking about tax abatements in a state of emergency, this city should immediately end all current and ongoing future development tax abatements. It's unjust that the city would continue them in a severe fiscal crisis as now. We want the people of the city to endure economic hardship, then it should be equally applied to Kushner Development and the other developers with their multi-year tax abatements. The hardship justifies voiding the tax abatements now. R66, where I'm at the university in the summer rentals. No, I'm requesting a no vote. The property, although tax exempt, needs an MIA appraisal with this resolution, done prior to any agreement with a hybrid tax scheme. The appraisal should be updated every summer, so the pilot amount would be prorated to the true taxable amount, not a flat rate of $76,000 for 5 years. It's ridiculous. Resolution 60-20, concerning an agreement between the city and the police department. Joe, nice going, Pallone. You're sneaking another one through. In the middle of an economic emergency this city is experiencing, you're putting through almost an 11% increase for the top brass of the police department. During an economic hardship, are the residents of this city on average getting an 11% increase? Shame on you, Pallone, and shame on this council. You people are disgusting, outright disgusting, giving almost an 11% increase in the salaries of the brass of the police department. That's junk government, outright junk government. Because we're on telephone, you're getting away with it. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Finally, it's Easter. And everybody's heard of Peter Cottontail, the bunny. Well, here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail, warning people of Team Pallone's ways. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail, exposing Team Pallone's backstabbing lies every day. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail, telling of promises that were reneged, and in the process, leaving Pallone and his council baskets filled with rotten eggs. The end.
Council President, there's no more callers.
Need a motion to close the public portion of the meeting?
So moved, Councilman Vieira.
Second, I need a vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Resolutions, we can take the list of resolutions as a consent agenda. Can we have a motion, please?
So moved, I need a vote.
Second, Vieira.
Roll call.
Mr. Vieira,
Yes.
Dr. Vogt,
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes,
Yes.
Dr. Selly,
Yes.
Mr. Dangler.
Yes. I need a motion to approve the list of applications.
So moved, Councilman Vieira.
Second, I need a vote.
Mr. Vieira,
Yes.
Dr. Vogt,
Yes.
Mrs. Wittes,
Yes.
Dr. Selly?
Yes.
Mr. Dangler?
Yes. Miscellaneous business for the good of the order. Councilman Vieira.
Yes. Thanks for listening tonight. As we go through these tough times of our epidemic, I would like to thank our perfect time for that train, by the way. I'd like to thank all our first responders that have put their life out for us, and our police, our first aiders, our firemen. These are people that put our lives out for us. And our real heroes, the nurses and the doctors out there that we're going through a real tough time, and they got to leave their families and they do everything for ours. So a big thank you to all these first responders. And then our essential people, our public workers, or everything else out there that work in the stores for us, for our food and restaurants, keep us fed. I also like to thank them. And let's not forget our people in Long Branch. Thank you, a big thank you, because it's a tough time, and we are practicing our social distance. We are respecting the government rules. And please, everybody, stay safe. Stay at home if you have to. Good night.
Councilwoman Vogt.
First of all, I want to second everything that Councilman Vieira said in terms of thanks for our extraordinary healthcare workers, our police, our first responders, putting their lives in jeopardy to take care of everybody else. They're doing an amazing job, and truly our heartfelt thanks and support to all of them. In the midst of all of this, it seems strange, but we can look at this as having an opportunity in here. And it's an opportunity for all of us to come together, put some bickering aside, see a bigger picture, and for each of us to consider how we can make a contribution and be part of the solution with this. There's an opportunity for us here. Let's not miss that opportunity. I want to do two other things, just one on the downside and one on the upside. One on the downside, I cannot believe it when I see people, for example, I'm just using this as an example, walking on the boardwalk, lifting up the caution signs so they can sneak under them, riding bikes on closed roads, thinking that none of these guidelines apply to them. For all of us and for people that you need to tell, all that it does is it wastes our resources. The police need to come and do wasteful, foolish things like saying, please get off the boardwalk, when it's a guideline that could not be more clear. So please, to anybody that it applies to or anybody that you can tell, let's, as a community, come together and make sure that we're allowing people like our police force, our healthcare workers, to put the resources where they're really needed, not in foolish things that some people may want to do just for their own self-interest. That's the downside. On the upside, life outside of the virus. I don't want the moment to go by without recognizing Robin Kantz, who was recognized as Educator of the Year by the Garden State Film Festival for all of her amazing work as an educator, all of her amazing work in terms of the films that she produces. It's an outstanding achievement for her, an outstanding award, and just another example of the extraordinary people that we have in our city. Everybody be safe. Let's pull together. And as we hear every day, we're going to get through this. God bless.
Councilwoman Wittes.
Hi. I just wanted to remind everyone that we need to be vigilant about social distancing, and now more than ever, as difficult as it may be. I mean, I haven't seen my children since March 8th, and it's very, very hard for me, but I know it's going to be better for me not to see them than to see them and bring them in any kind of danger, or myself or anyone around us. I'd like to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, medical staff who work tirelessly to help those in need and who deserve our utmost respect. And I would like to wish everyone a happy and healthy holiday, and please be safe. Thank you.
Councilwoman Selly.
Yes, good evening. I'm not going to take anybody's time and reiterate everything everybody has said, because what they've said is very important. And all I can say to everybody is stay safe, stay healthy, and also have a happy Easter. Thank you.
Mayor Pallone.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to take this time to basically say what everyone else has said and give a big thank you to all our first responders, our healthcare workers, city employees, and actually all other essential employees all over our city, county, and state. All of you have been working during this pandemic and helping to keep all of us safe. And I also want to thank all our volunteers and businesses that have donated their time, their money, and their supplies. I'd also like to remind residents that we're here for you at City Hall for anything you may need, so please give us a call at 732-222-7000, and we'll try to assist you as the best we can. Remember to please continue to check our website, especially the coronavirus page that we have, social media for all our updates that we've been putting out during the pandemic. And again, I want to stay safe, be well, and I want to finally wish each and every one of you a safe and happy holiday weekend.
Thank you, Mayor. I would certainly like to echo everything in regards to our first responders, the medical staff, no matter where they're working at. As a central employee myself, I know how tense it is when you have to go out and possibly put yourself at risk. So I do want to personally thank certainly the police department and the fire department and our nursing staff here in Long Branch. And also, lastly, two things. One, I want everyone to have a happy Easter, as happy as it can be. If you have children, maybe you can just dye some eggs and just hide them around the house. Have the children try and find them throughout the house since they're all home, or even maybe even in their own yard if they're outside just getting some air. And the last thing I want to say is, no matter what your particular faith is, whatever your religion is, just pray that we all stay safe and get through this as quickly as possible, but more importantly, that we all can get through this safe with as less casualty as possible. Thank you, and God bless you all. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Rose Wittis.
I need a vote second.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good night, everyone, and be safe.
Good night.
Thank you, you too.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. George Jackson.